Hello, and welcome to DD214, the podcast that is for people leaving the military. I am your host and veteran and retired veteran, Eric. The mission of the DD214 is to create a space for transitioning service members and veterans. Now, well, why am I making this episode? Why do I call it my beard? Well, as you can see, I can stroke my beard. I've gotten a full beard going. I got a handlebar mustache like Dick Dastardly from the Wacky Racers. And there's a whole method to that. So I'm going to present a picture here when I was on a deployment back in 2010. And let's see if I can make this work here. Well, we won't deal with that. It was a lot shorter than what I did. It was a picture that was literally in my cruise book from that deployment. So, what do a lot of guys do when we leave the military? Well, we decide to work up a so-called Kaiserlicha or a Kaiser mustache, right? And we can grow a handlebar by, and I usually don't do that. I'm going to talk about the combs I use here in a minute. I don't really keep it that way. I keep it more like this. But we've been told for I guess about 20 years that we can't grow any facial hair. And in fact, in the Marine Corps, they don't even let them grow it on leave, technically. I mean, I'm sure plenty of Marines, officers and enlisted, have grown a little bit of something when, more than a 7 o'clock shadow at 5 o'clock kind of thing. But I won't accuse them of that. I don't know. My friend Brian Hawkins will probably say he always kept a clean shave, where I also kept a high and tight until he retired. And now you look at that dude and he looks like the dude, like from Big Lebowski. He's got epic beard, epic long hair. I can't grow long hair. I've been bald for the last 20 years. So you got to work within your limitations. That's how it goes. But yeah, about beards. Yeah, you're going to leave the military, and the first thing that you want to do as a guy, I don't know, there's probably some girls who could grow beards too. I know when I grew up in Suisun, California, back in the 80s, there was a woman who had a full Hitler mustache. She had a mustache, and she was the one who served our ice cream, and our ice cream didn't come in scoops. It came in little, little cylinder things. You get the Neapolitan, or you could just get the vanilla ice or strawberry or vanilla. Yeah, people who grew up in my town, they know who I'm talking about. That was at Thrifty, back before it got bought out by Rite Aid. Yep. If you know, you know. And we had the mustache lady. Other than that, she was cool. She had a mustache. She could have grown a beard, probably. So let's talk about growing a beard. And here's what I want to tell you all about it. If you're about to leave or you've just left and you're thinking about growing, well, you're going to do a lot more maintenance than even your lady does on her manicures and pedicures. I mean, at least somebody else is doing that for you. For us, I mean, I can spend $100 and go every couple of weeks to the barber, and I have. And in fact, my birthday present was an appointment at the local barbershop where they took it down like they took my head down. They maybe basically a chrome dome with the straight razor and everything, and that was cool. And because I usually do this every couple of weeks, I just grab the I have my wall clipper, and I just kind of zoom over my head and everything, and then I ask my wife if I missed any spots, and if I missed any spots, then she cleans them up for me. That's kind of how that goes. Now about the beard, though. So there's a couple of things that you got to think about when you're going to grow, whether that's a mustache only or a full beard. And so we have to buy things like wax. Now, I've had this wax. It's called Fix Your Lid. Actually, it works pretty well. And this Fix Your Lid, what I find works is I turn the faucet up to hot water, and I put a little bit in. I do kind of like a tortilla making thing here, and then I can just pretty much just spread it all over the beard, right? Then I bought all this stuff from Amazon. I'm not sponsored by Amazon. I just happened to get all this stuff from Amazon. So then I got a couple of small ones that are called Viking Revolution, and I was interested because they had scents, and so one is citrus and the other one is sandalwood. Now Wendy likes it better when I wear the citrus one, but they just come in little tins. I think they were like $5 or something like that. They weren't terribly expensive. But what I found that they were useful for was, getting the mustache going. And then at church, I got two brothers with massive beards that I can only envy. And they hit me to this one. It's called Death Grip. I also bought this on Amazon, and it was $15. The cool thing is, this thing is basically solid beeswax, and it comes with a guitar pick that is so stuck in there, but that's what you use. And literally, the instructions are you take the guitar pick and you scrap a little bit off, and then you can run it through your fingers, and then that's good for mustaches. So I did that. And then, and there's a lot of other kinds of things. Oh, oils. So I am a fan of Duke Cannon. I can buy this pretty much anywhere. And when I ran out of, I bought a couple of different formulations of Duke Cannon. But when I ran out, I had some essential oils because I make candles as a hobby. And basically, I took, for the carrier oil, I took some coconut oil that was in liquid form, and then I mixed that with some eucalyptus. And eucalyptus is considered very good for hair. So that's what I did. And I just refilled the bottle. So now in here, if I put it on, it's eucalyptus-y. And I grew up in the Northern California area, and we had a lot of eucalyptus trees. They were invasive species from Australia, and they've been there ever since. But we like, people on the West Coast, we definitely like our eucalyptus oil. That's pretty good. And then the last part I want to talk about is combs. And I had a plastic comb here, but I bought this comb here because one of my cats had fleas. So I, fling the fleas out. I wash the whole thing out. And then I thought, well, maybe it'll work good for keeping the old facial hairs in shape, right? And it's kind of like that. You can come up from the bottom there, you get those weird curly hairs that'll tickle your throat and such. So, and that does that. And it also gets out all the dead hairs. So I think using a pet comb, like a flea comb, like for dogs and cats, I think it actually works pretty well. And then the last one, and I swear I had it here. I just got to look for it. Oh, it's just a foot long plastic comb that has like the wider and thicker bristles on one side and then the finer ones on the other. It's amazing. But that's pretty much what it takes to maintain a beard. But seriously, if you're a dude and you've never had a beard before, you got to have your oils, right? Got to have your different waxes, right? If you're trying to go Dick Dastardly, get this, seriously, get this death grip. It's pretty cool. It's the best thing. I've had that for over a year, and I've barely used any of it. I mean, it does not take a lot. That's a little tin, costs you $15, gonna last you probably about 10 years, if not 15. So highly recommended. Also, and I didn't bring any bottles of wash in, but you got to wash the beard about every, maybe every 3 or 4 days. Wash it, because what will happen is, especially for guys like me who are bald now and we forgot about it, back when I had hair, I used to get dandruff all the time. And dandruff isn't just the flaky stuff that they advertise about in the Head and Shoulders shampoo commercials. This is an actual skin issue where you've got scabs and you got all this oil that built up, and then you have an infection, and then you start losing hair, and that happens with beards. So beard dandruff is a thing, and it totally sucks. So that's about it about that. And then when you're driving a car, if you're at the stoplight, don't do it while you're moving. If you're at the stoplight, just check. Make sure that it's one way or the other. And that's how you make sure that you have a decent looking beard. So my name's Eric. I'm a veteran. I run the DD214 podcast. Thank you for having a listen and a watch. And huzzah, and keep your beards great again. Bye now.